Greetings, gardening friends. I just wanted to give you a little tip on building the rectangular planter boxes that after I've built a few of them I've realized something, and something that somebody pointed out to me last night, which was unintentional but a good thing. I've been reworking my patio, and so here's a bunch of boxes lined up. If I stand back a little bit, you can see it kind of looks like a fence running along there, although it could be improved just a little bit. If you want to take advantage of the dog ear, here's what I figured out. You have to carefully do some measurements, and it was a little tricky at first trying to understand what to do, but here's what I figured out. Sorry, it's getting a bit noisy with the garbage trucks out front doing their third pickup of the week. Anyway, so what I figured out is this. When you do your measurements, you want to get rid of, or you want to figure out now, actually these dog ears are not perfectly consistent. One is actually cut a little bit larger than the other on this board. But what I do is I basically just take the largest one, let's say it's this one here, and then I measure from the base of the board all the way up to here, to the bottom part of that dog ear, and that gives me the length of the board. I can plug that into the program, into the spreadsheet, and I get this, which I don't know how well you can see that, but the point is I plugged it in and it gave me some numbers. Now that's basically, the program is now assuming that your board is only as long as here, and it's not including the dog ear. If you want to include the dog ear as part of your design so it ends up looking like a fence like over there, then what you do is you're going to cut the first piece as an end piece off the bottom of the board, and then you're going to take that cut piece and line it up so that one end of that cut piece ends up right at the base of that dog ear. That will guarantee that that dog ear is sticking up free and clear of the entire box. Now here, let me show you what I'm talking about. If you look at the boxes that I built early on, before I learned this little lesson, then the dog ear actually is coming down below the side piece. We don't want that. We actually want the entire dog ear to be up above so that we have a perfectly squared box to work with. So let me actually cut the pieces and show you. Since my board is 72 inches including the dog ear, I measured down and I got 70 7/8 as the length of the board if you don't include the dog ear. And that's what I plugged into the spreadsheet, and it gave me my cuts. So for this particular design, which I'm going to be doing the 2-board high boards surrounding the base, I'm going to end up with the 2 end pieces of the first measurement there at 10 7/8. So now I've measured from the bottom 10 7/8 inches, and I'm going to cut it. Okay, so now with my cut piece at 10 7/8 inches, I've got it lined up to meet just below, just right on the bottom of the dog ear. It's flushed side to side, so I can sort of show you that. Flush side to side, which ensures that it's square, because the dog ears are not necessarily going to be perfectly square. And so that basically guarantees me that that dog ear is going to be sticking up. So I've basically squared it, lined it up, and then drew a line down below, which you can see there, and that's now my cut for my other side piece. Okay, I've been saying side pieces, actually meant end pieces, but there you go, there's the 2 pieces cut. I just put them together on the bottom there, flushed them, so that you can see that the dog ear will stick up and not get caught in that little crack like I showed you on the other ones that I did already. So that's that. I'm going to cut the rest of them and then we'll assemble. Okay, there's the cut boards, and a little space left over for me to actually try and assemble it without having to lie down on the ground. Alright folks, there's the finished product. It's close. I must have gotten my measurements wrong when I carefully measured everything before I plugged it into the spreadsheet. Maybe I'll go double check the spreadsheet and make sure that that's not the problem. But it came up with those little gaps in there. It could be worse. I mean, it's actually still, you know, if you look at it from the outside, you're going to see the dog ear sticking up. But there were other problems as I started to nail it together. I didn't get everything flush, so it's not looking perfect. From the front, if you want to call it the front, that's the worst part of it right there, where it's not flush. And I had problems nailing around a knot. But, you know, got it together. Got the holes in the bottom of it. Maybe you can see it better that way. So I'll put some soil in it and use it. It's, you know, cosmetically it's not perfect, but functionally it should be fine.